Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? And welcome to the Fantasy Couch Podcast. This is a fantasy football podcast. Please subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. Just got done watching the Thursday night football game. It was kind of boring to me, the first half at least. A good amount of defense. Both quarterbacks felt kind of uncomfortable. Josh Palmer saved it right there with that touchdown. I did tell a couple of people to start him that were pretty desperate. He was on the start him, sit him list that Mike wrote, so that was a good one. I also started Gerald Everett and Josh Palmer in the Vampire League. Sleeper's given me a 43% chance to win. So if you don't know what a Vampire League is, I had to build my team completely off the waiver wire. So I didn't draft anybody, but if I win, I get to steal a player from my opponent. So hopefully that happens. We are live right now on Twitch and YouTube, by the way. Rick says, "What's up, Brain?" What's up, Rick? Albert in the building. Javier, what's up, man? Awesome. Yeah, that was it was a close game. Justin Herbert seemed really hurt. I think he'll recover. I have no idea what's wrong with him, though. So I have no idea what that injury was. Maybe it's his ribs. Maybe it's his arm. I was very scared. It was awkward when we saw him run out of the pocket and he was like, "I'm going to run for a first down." Then he was, "I'm going to throw it away." Then he kind of went limp. I don't know what it was. But that seemed bad for a guy who used to run track in high school and play baseball. I don't know, man. That's kind of awkward that happened. Hopefully he's okay. He's gonna have probably 10 days to rest up. So hopefully Herbert is okay. Austin Eckler, that was looking pretty worrisome from Austin Eckler owners, but somehow this guy managed to get 9 receptions. So if you're in PPR, you're gonna be fine. But if you're not in PPR, Austin Eckler seems like a pretty bad pick so far, but we all pretty much play full PPR nowadays, or at least half PPR. All right, we're going to be talking a little bit about trades, desperate fantasy owners. We got drama going on the Fantasy Couch Podcast YouTube channel surrounding Cam Akers, mainly because a clip that my producer Drew made. I mean, it's really not. It shouldn't be any drama, but there is some drama. It's not. I don't want it. I don't want to talk about it, but I don't want the drama. I run away from the drama, but there is. And so I'm going to address it head on because it's a good topic. Okay. So this is a picture of CDLAM for those listening to me. And CDLAM, I think, is a great buy low option. Now, most owners, I don't think are going to be willing to budge and give him to you for free. But I'm bringing up these topics really. Where do I get topics for this show? Usually when I get like 4 people or 7 people or 20 people asking me very similar questions, I'm like, man, this is a hot topic. Or I notice trends in the questions like, dude, don't fall for this crap. So one of the things is like, people are falling for the CDLAM trap. So I would like to buy low on CDLAM. I unfortunately couldn't. I tried just a little bit. Maybe I got to try harder. But like I said, most fantasy owners are not willing to budge from CDLAM and give it to you for super cheap. Now, what fantasy owners are trying to do to you is fleece you. They're trying to package CDLAM. They're trying to prey on your weaknesses, your desperations, and give you CDLAM. Don't do it. I saw a trade today, T. Higgins for CDLAM, and I was like, bro, get greedy, ask for more. Why are you desperate? T. Higgins had a concussion. He'll probably be back this week, maybe next week. CDLAM doesn't even have a quarterback. He hardly has a team. I mean, the Cowboys are hardly an NFL team this year without Dak Prescott. All right, they're not that great. They're like a mediocre, okay team with Dak Prescott. Now they're a terrible team without him. They obviously have some struggles. They don't have receivers. They overpaid Zeke. It's a lot going on there. So if you are in trade negotiations with a fantasy manager, with one of your league mates that has CDLAM rostered, remember who's desperate. Remember who's more desperate. Remember who has the leverage. You got the leverage. You got the leverage, son. You got the leverage, my friend. Remember that. All right. Stay strong. Now, there's only one fantasy owner that's more desperate than a CDLAM owner, and that's Ezekiel Elliott owners. These guys are the most desperate right now. You're looking for the most desperate, most panicky league mates. That's going to be Zeke owners. And I mean, this one is just like 100% dry cut. I wouldn't even want Zeke right now. I don't know what. I mean, would you? Okay, let me ask a question to the chat right now. Would you guys trade the Bills defense for Ezekiel Elliott? Yes or no? The Bills defense. I probably would. But I mean, I'd have to think about. I would trade the Bills defense. All right, where are we gonna keep going from here? Would I trade Josh Palmer for Zeke Elliott? I think I would. You know, he's a wide receiver. Keenan Allen will probably come back. But it's like, I mean, I'm thinking about these questions though. It's like, man, how bad is it gonna get? Like, I would not trade like a decent running back for this guy. I really wouldn't. I mean, this is so bad. Like, that's why, like, okay, yeah, I would trade those two players for Zeke just because he's a running back. But it's like, dude, I would you trade Clyde Edwards-Helaire for Zeke? I traded Zeke for ETN yesterday. That's great. Awesome trade. You pulled that off. That's nice, especially if it's full PPR. I said anyone who drafted Zeke would lose their league. That's what Rick said. Now, look, I thought Zeke would be better. You know, I was wrong. I had him ranked a couple spots lower than the consensus. I still liked him as a late third round pick. Now, I was wrong on that, but you know, to be fair, I've had Ezekiel Elliott in the past. When Dak got hurt, things changed a lot. When Dak was healthy, it was a different story. So the Dak injury was just bad luck. It turned Zeke from being like an okay running back. I didn't think he was terrible week one. It's just that the whole Cowboys are going to suck now. When I say he wasn't terrible, I mean it wasn't looking great for him either. It's not like his running style was okay. Like he ran okay. It wasn't anything amazing. The Bucks defense was tough. But what I'm saying was he's a little bit worse than I thought, at least the situation. The Cowboys are worse than I thought. And then on top of that, we got this bad luck situation with Dak Prescott getting injured. So now he's basically a zero. I think I'd rather have Clyde Edwards-Helaire over Ezekiel Elliott. I'd rather have Darrell Henderson over Ezekiel Elliott. I'd rather have James Robinson. I'd rather have ETN. Way rather have ETN over Zeke. Um, Jeff Wilson or Ezekiel Elliott. I think that's a close one. It's really that bad. So just letting you know, you guys know your worth, right? You know your worth. You guys know you have the leverage. Okay, when you're dealing with CDLAM owners, when you're dealing with Ezekiel Elliott owners, that you have even more leverage. People are trying to get rid of Zeke, so be aware of that. Don't fall for that. What else we got? Man, it's okay to drop a wide receiver, right? You have your wide receiver 7 on your team, your wide receiver 6, you drop them. That's totally fine depending on what you're trying to do. Maybe you're trying to go for an upside guy like Christian Watson, maybe even George Pickens, you know, for a stash, or you need a start right now. So you go get Robbie Anderson or Donovan Peoples Jones. You know, Donovan Peoples Jones could be good now, and he's definitely a good stash when Deshaun Watson comes back, right? They didn't sign Will Fuller. That's a big sign, a good sign, a significant and good sign that they didn't sign Will Fuller, because Donovan Peoples Jones is the new Will Fuller, possibly for Deshaun Watson. But don't go dropping running backs. People have dropped J.K. Dobbins in leagues. It's up. The ranking videos is up. What are you talking about? Is that not public or something? Nah, it's got a lot of comments. Ranking videos is up. you talking about, bro? It comes out every Thursday. Do people not get notified of this? The rankings video? I do a rankings video on the main YouTube channel every Thursday. Let me just make sure. Pretty sure it's oh, I'm not logged into the main channel. It's up. Bro, it did not notify me and I have the bell turned on. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Yeah, it's got like a little bit less views than usual, so sometimes YouTube glitches like that. It's stupid. Um, I don't think the Chargers know if Herbert misses time yet. But anyway, guys, people are dropping J.K. Dobbins, people are dropping Brees Hall. Like this is gone nuts. Just don't like. What are you guys doing? Dropping Tyler Lockett, that's fine. I dropped Alec Pierce in a couple leagues. I dropped Paris Campbell. You know, that's fine. But what are you doing dropping Brees Hall? Even though he hurt your feelings, I may have let you down, sure. But he didn't even do that bad. He didn't he put up like more fantasy points than Austin Eckler, than Derrick Henry, than Alvin Kamara. He put up decent fantasy points. Yeah, I dropped Jalen Tolbert too. There we go. I dropped him too. What are you guys doing dropping top 30, top 40 running backs? You guys know that you're going to regret it, right? Because you're going to need running backs later. Trust me. Okay, trust me. What is going on here? Anyway, don't drop running backs. Like this is not good. This is insane. Don't do that. All right. Don't give up on players that easy. So, what happened was on the last podcast, it was a really good podcast. I thought it was short. We talked about Cam Akers and J.K. Dobbins, how I said to avoid them. Drew made a clip about them, and now the clip got a good amount of views, and I got a lot of hate for it because of how it was titled. So, I'm going to say it right now. You Cam Akers haters, do not come for me after week 2. Okay? Don't even think about it. Don't even try it. Everyone's hating and you guys are just so stupid. Okay? You guys are so dumb. Um I can't believe it because someone's calling me clueless because Cam Akers never was good supposedly. All right. I didn't say anything like that. I never said he was great. And then other people are saying I'm an idiot because Cam Akers is going to come back and be good. Here's the point, guys. You already lost when you drafted Cam Akers. You already took a fat L. You'll never get it back. It's gone. The L is tattooed, engraved, and burned in your forehead. Do you know why? Nobody's starting Cam Akers week 2. You already lost. You drafted Cam Akers 37th overall. What are you going to do now? When you can't start him week 2, you lost the trust in Cam Akers. I'm looking at it right now. Only a third of people are starting Cam Akers. A guy who was drafted at the end of round 3 is only being started 33% against the sweetest matchup ever against the Falcons. So you're benching Cam Akers this week. You're waiting for him to do good. You're crying inside. You hate yourself. You can't even look in the mirror, but you're going to hop online and tell me, ha ha, I told you Cam Akers was, I don't think he's going to perform well week 2, but there's a chance. What I'm telling you is that it doesn't freaking matter if he performs good because he's on your bench and I know it. I know he's on your bench. That's the point. You shouldn't have drafted him. It was bad. So don't come at me if, there's going to be like a 30% chance he has a good game week 2. I know he's on your bench. It's not going to matter. The point is not about ha-has and scoring fantasy points. It's about beating your opponent. Okay. And Cam Akers, we already lost trust in him. Everyone lost trust in him, right? There's still some people, 7% of people out there are delusional and still believe in Cam Akers. That's fine. 93% of people lost trust in him, and the delusional people deep down, they know they lost trust in Cam Akers. When Cam Akers, if he comes back and he's good and he performs well. May not be week 2, but let's say he has a game or 2, maybe 3 games that are good. We're still not going to trust Sean McVay. We're not going to trust him. Kyron Williams, I didn't even see him in the game. He was in there apparently because he got hurt in the first quarter. I just don't remember. I mean, Kyron Williams got run in the first quarter. It seemed like Kyron Williams was ran out there faster than Cam Akers. Okay, and that guy's a good pass catching back. So they're trying to play Cam Akers. They're trying to play Kyron Williams. Darrell Henderson started. Cam Akers 3 carries for 0 yards. He's going to be on your bench. If he does well, what you're going to do now, do you start him? Do we trust Sean McVay? Everything Sean McVay's told us about his running backs the whole time has been the truth, right? Oh, his man's never lied. He's never lied about Todd Gurley. Never lied about anything, right? We've always been screwed. We only see a real Rams running back for 6 weeks, and then it cycles to the next guy. That's what it is. So don't come at me about Cam Akers. You can feel free to come at me with J.K. Dobbins. I said, I'm not drafting him. I'd rather not take the risk. Okay, I like the talent. I don't recommend you do as well. I really recommend you didn't draft both these guys on the same team. If you DM me, you already know my answer. I was like, oh man, you drafted Mr. Achilles and Mr. ACL. Now J.K. Dobbins has a chance. I'd say he's got a 25% chance to finish like a top 15 running back this year and be good. It's only a 25% chance. I didn't take that risk. Now you can come at me and be like, "Oh man, he performed well. You were wrong." That way, okay, you'll be right about that. That I'd be wrong. You would be right. Just don't come at me with this Cam Akers BS. It doesn't even make sense. We've already lost trust in Cam Akers. We've been lost trust in Sean McVay. There's no repairing this. When are you going to start Cam Akers? I don't see it. J.K. Dobbins, though, 2 full participation practices in a row this week. He's looking like he's going to play. It's almost a sure thing. He will be eased back in, maybe get you 10, 11 touches this first week. I'd even start him if I have him. Low end RB2 flex, though, not really that confident in him. Okay, but I think I got him ranked as my RB23. Oh no, I just went over this. Are you listening to the podcast? Especially, so we have a clip up, and I got a lot of YouTube comments on that clip. So yeah, people calling me an idiot from both sides. That's how the internet is. The internet, they tell you you're an idiot, or they tell you like you suck from both angles. They're like, you suck because you're ugly, and someone else is like, you suck because you're so hot, you're so sexy, and that's the only reason you do well. You're so ugly. You're not even hot. You're so ugly. Ugh. So it's like that's the internet summed up. Is like you get hit from both sides. It's just silly. It's just stupid. It's all good. But yeah, did we cover all the Cam Akers, JK? Oh yeah, James Robinson, I was wrong on. All right. And that's all good. James Robinson miraculously came back from a Achilles injury 8 months later. I was shocked. So I was wrong on that. I'm going to go ahead and say already, it's not premature. I'm going to say already that I was right on Cam Akers. Like I said, the trust has been broken. We're benching him this week. It's already over. It's already game over. If you're benching Cam Akers against the Falcons, I don't know what to tell you, man. That's a lose. That's a lose-lose. Wow, this is a crazy one. Briggs said, FAB percentage you'd spend on Eli Mitchell. Owner rage dropped him. One thing I would do is I'd probably spend more FAB on Eli Mitchell if there was an IR spot. That's basically a must add. I usually do 100% when I'm really bullish on a player, but 100% is probably too much. I don't think I could spend less than 50% when I have a really good running back just chilling. I'm thinking I'm spending 51%. I think that's a good FAB budget. 51%. Yeah. Somewhat conservative, but I'll probably get him with that. I think 51% is a good percentage to spend. Wicco or Wyco, thank you so much for the donation. That interrupts this podcast, ladies and gentlemen. When you send a super chat donation, we pause the podcast and we answer your question straight up. And Wyco says, or Wicco says, Chase Edmonds, Dobbins, or Penny at flex. Okay, so Penny is a low upside running back. I'm going to bench him. So it's between Chase Edmonds and Dobbins. I think I'm going to go Chase Edmonds here. Chase Edmonds going against the Ravens. Oh, they play each other. And then J.K. Dobbins going against Miami. I'm going to go with Chase Edmonds. He can catch. That's going to be huge. While Dobbins is probably going to be capped at 11 touches. You don't want to risk it. Now, if you had some really, really, really bad options, then we'd start Dobbins. But I think I'd also rank it like that. I don't know what my rankings say, but I probably go Chase Edmonds 1, Dobbins 2, and Penny 3, just because I really think Penny doesn't have much upside. We'll answer questions later. What else? Oh my God, I have a really cool section here. I really want to talk about this. Now, I don't know if you guys will like this or not, but it is very important to me. And if you can just have the right attitude and listen to this, it's going to be key info. This is almost like information I'd want to sell. This is really what it's like, information I want to put in a course, but it's the type of stuff people don't want to talk about. I'm going to reward you guys right now for listening to the podcast or tuning into this live stream, because it's really good information on how to win your leagues. So I always preach about stuff and I get really passionate about it. I start yelling about it or whatnot. Some people are like, "Oh, why are you yelling? This and that," or it sounds kind of preachy, and it just makes me. You think it makes me sound cool, right? To talk about like, "Oh, you got your goals, beat your opponent," right? It's not about fantasy points. It's not so much about the players. Well, I put my money where my mouth. I put my mouth in my mouth, my money, my money, my money, my mouth, and I beat the brain to beat the brain, and I beat him. All right, so I actually use my methods. I actually put to use what I preach, and this is very important. Bear with me here, guys. I know everyone wants me to talk about the fantasy Ezekiel Elliott and do this and do that and trade that, and I get it. Look, it's important. Trust me. But we got to get back to these strategies that no one's talking about. I mentioned these strategies and I actually put them to use and it works. So every Saturday night, I go live and I do what's called Beat the Brain. Sometimes we just do some cheap snake drafts, have fun, answer fantasy questions, chill. I love drafting, doing weekly drafts on drafters. And sometimes there's a challenger for high stakes where I go head to head. Now, I'm more of a tournament guy, but I go head to head. Haters go straight to the front of the line. That's the rules. And let me tell you how I used all the strategies I've been talking about on this podcast to actually play fantasy football and win. So first of all, we have to establish what this is. This is $100 buy-in, $200 winner take all, okay? Head to head, week 1 draft. So what do I say? I say, look, man, you probably don't want to take Travis Kelce in a 12-team league. It's going to ruin your team. But if you're in an 8-team league, maybe even a 10-team league, I'd consider Travis Kelce. I say reach for those top positions. And my very first pick, I chose Travis Kelce because he is in a tier of his own. Tiers are very important. Scarcity is very important. And when you're in a shallow league, reaching for those top players at the position is very important. I took Travis Kelce. My opponent went with a traditional approach, took CMC, Austin Eckler, Derrick Henry. I got JT. I got Kamara. Kamara got hurt. Next thing I did, I decided I'm probably not going to take tight end for a while. I went and got the best quarterback, just so happened to be the best quarterback, and that was Patrick Mahomes last week. So I got Patrick Mahomes last week, Joe Mixon, boom. I scouted out my opponent. Now he's in my Discord. I know that he's a Packers fan. Knowing that he's a Packers fan, I thought that he might think that Jair Alexander would lock up Justin Jefferson. Knowing that, it worked out. Now, I'm not saying all this is going to always work out, but it's a game of chess, not checkers. It's not a game of picking the best fantasy players. It's a game of beating your opponent. And in head to head, remember, guys, this is what you guys do every week in fantasy. It's a head to head. You only got to beat one person. What's the goal this week? What's the short-term goal? Always to beat your opponent. Beat one person. Beat this specific person. He let Justin Jefferson fall. I went ahead and drafted Justin Jefferson in round 7. That's stupid late. All right. And knowing he was going to get the tight ends, I waited in the very end to get a tight end because you can only get 2. He went ahead and took a Packers player. He took Aaron Rodgers. At the end, I used my tiers. I knew that there was a lot of running backs in the top tier, so I didn't go running back first. I went quarterback. So we used tiers. We reached for a tight end because it's a shallow league. It's only a 2-team league. We scouted out our opponent. We knew he was a Packers fan, and we made it work. And I mean, I destroyed him. It was like 300 to 150. It was a crazy score. So I won. Hopefully that made sense because I preach a lot about fantasy strategy, and I actually used this to win last week. All right, let's answer some questions. That's it. Singletary or Zeke? I think we're gonna go with Ezekiel Elliott. Yeah, let's go with Zeke over Singletary. Mitchell was also dropped in my league, also waiver, not FAB. Have to claim him. Go ahead and claim him. ETN, Pierce, or Stevenson, standard league. Justin Tucker or Zeke rest of the season? I'd probably take Zeke. That's a good question, though. I'd probably take Zeke over a kicker. I'm okay at streaming kickers. I do just fine. That's a tough one, bro. ETN, I like him, but this week you kind of want to bench him, right? And it's not a PPR. We got Ramondre. And Damian Pierce. Let's go with Ramondre Stevenson. Let's bench Damian Pierce. All right, guys, we got some news here. You guys, I'm not watching the thing, but I got the news. You guys may already know this, but Brandon Staley, that's the Chargers head coach, said Justin Herbert is okay and doesn't expect his injury to be an issue going forward. Said he's dealing with something in his abdomen, possibly ribs. Okay, so does that mean negative x-rays, guys? They'll learn more of Herbert's physical status tomorrow. All right. Danny asks, risk starting Zeke right now or forfeit my league? I thought this was a real question. No way he's okay. Well, he's got 10 days to rest. It could just be bruised. That would be bruised. Yeah, that would suck. You never know, man. I mean, it's only been in like an hour since he got hurt, so we'll see. Start Zeke right now or forfeit my league. Hey, never give up, right? Give up in 10 and a half weeks. Don't give up now. Yeah, that injury looked pretty wicked. If you guys have any more fantasy questions, Hit me up. We're gonna keep it short. This podcast, man, it just keeps getting shorter and shorter. That's what happens when I have no co-host. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, I'll answer a couple more and then we'll hop off. Simran, sell high on Henderson. If yes, who should I roughly target? The problem with Henderson is that he's not a sexy name. You're not going to be able to get much for him. If you're not, if you think, if you're planning on starting him this week, I probably wouldn't sell him. What I would do is bank on him putting two good back-to-back performances. I'm going to say 70% chance that's going to happen. He's going to put up double-digit fantasy points. And then I think you'd have a better shot at selling him and you'd get a good start this week. Great matchup against the Falcons. If you sell him now, you can only sell him to a desperate fantasy owner. Maybe try to get CDLAM. I don't think you can though. That's the thing, man. I'm down with selling him, but he just doesn't have a sexy name, bro. He doesn't. He does not. He does not, unfortunately. So that's really up to you. I mean, what can you get? If you can get CDLAM for him, go do it. If you can get, I don't know, Keenan Allen, maybe that would be great. Get Kamara, that would be awesome. Henderson or Zeke, definitely go with Henderson. Yes, this is a top 5,000 podcast, of course. Come on. You and this someone's hitting up with the Costco pizza back to back, man. We need some variety in your life. I had Dak go down in Superflex. I started Herbert tonight. I have Mills or Mariota left. Who do I start? Now that's two bad options at quarterback. Mills or Mariota. We're gonna really roll with Mariota. We are. We're going with Marcus Mariota tomorrow or this week, not tomorrow. Thoughts on Juju? Poo poo. Can only have 5 running backs. Got CMC, Zeke, Pollard, Melvin, Jeff Wilson. Who would you drop for Mitchell? No IR spot or just rock with the guys I got PPR? What you want to do is make a trade. Make a trade. Make it happen. Maybe sell Zeke for short. Now, I don't know how your league works. Are you guaranteed to get Jeff Wilson? Then you could sell Zeke for cheap, right? Or do a 2-for-1 trade and then pick up Jeff Wilson. I really don't want to drop any of these guys, bro. I mean, not Jeff Wilson, Eli Mitchell. I mean, that's why he's on your waivers. I don't know why you guys have that rule. Realistically, no, that's how Superflex works, man. That's all good. I mean, I get it. That's not even a deep list, just normal Superflex. Serious question. I have Josh Allen already in my Superflex. So do I start Tannehill or stink Geno Smith? Tannehill or Geno Smith? Go with Tannehill. And these two are really bottom of the barrel. They are outside the top 25. Nah, I really don't want to. I really don't want to do a head to head. I will take you up Saturday. Are you able to hop on the live stream Saturday? I'm going live tomorrow. I'm gonna hop on a Discord tomorrow. I'm going live Saturday. We're always going live, right? We could do short streams. We could do longer streams. I'll be back. I'll be alive. I'll go live. Are you able to hop on Saturday? I go live at 9 p.m. If you're there, guaranteed I will play you. Or, I mean, I'm going to drop the link and click on it first. So I will play you Saturday night fishing for sure. I promise. So fishing challenge me to $100. Not right now though. Let's go Saturday. Saturday's where we do that. Yeah, Superflex could get nasty. I mean, hey, I got Aaron Rodgers in Superflex. I thought that was good for my backup quarterback. Apparently not. I think he'll bounce back, but this year might be a little bit more rough than Aaron Rodgers. He has nobody to throw to. Yeah, bro. So I don't know. Yeah, I probably wouldn't even do it then since you got seventh waivers. Just let it go. Eli Mitchell, he might come back and get hurt again. All right, guys, we're going to end it there. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you do subscribe to the podcast. Check out the main channel. We got lots of content on there, a Fantasy Couch on YouTube. Follow me on social media at Fantasy Couch, everywhere Instagram, Twitter, TikToks. Peace out.